Welcome to Innovation Brief by IdeaScale, where we turn your work team into innovators.
We talk a lot about adapting and evolving in the business world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what about governments?
Huh?
How are these big organizations keeping up with everything in this crazy digital world?
Yeah, how are they doing it? Today we're going to dive into that, taking a good look at digital transformation, but specifically in the government.
Okay.
What are they doing? And how can we maybe take a page from their playbook, for tech leaders, CEOs, the big decision makers, anyone driving innovation?
Right.
What can we learn from what governments are doing?
Perfect. So digital transformation in government, it's more than just putting everything online.
Right. It's not just about forms. It's really a completely new way of thinking about how government works.
I see.
It's using all this new technology to really make things better, how they operate, deliver services, how they talk to people,
Right.
the citizens. It's like going from those old file cabinets full of paper to a completely digital system where everything's connected.
Oh, wow.
And it's really focused on making things easy for people to use.
So it's more than just having a website.
Way more. Think about it this way.
Yeah.
Governments are creating online portals, mobile apps, ways for people to do things themselves without having to, wait in line or call someone.
Right. So they're making things easier. What else are they doing?
Well, they're using all that data they have, right, to make better decisions.
Oh.
They're not just guessing anymore. They're looking at the numbers, analyzing trends to see what's working, what's not, where they should put their resources.
Interesting.
It's kind of like, imagine you could analyze data from your whole customer base.
Wow.
To figure out what they really need, what they want, how to improve things.
Right. And you could really tailor it. Yeah.
Governments are doing that on a massive scale, and businesses can learn a lot from that.
And how are governments keeping people in the loop with all this new stuff?
They're getting people involved in the process.
Oh.
They're using these digital tools to get feedback, through online forums, virtual town halls, even getting people to help design services.
Wow, that's a big shift.
It is.
Yeah.
They're realizing that they don't have all the answers. The people they serve often have the best ideas.
Right. They're the ones who use the services every day.
Exactly. And businesses can do this too. Use digital platforms to get ideas from your customers, your employees, your community.
Interesting. So with all this information being shared online, how do governments make sure everything is accurate and trustworthy?
Transparency is key. They're putting all their data out there, making it public so everyone can see how things are working.
Oh, wow.
It's all about building trust. Any organization can benefit from this. The more transparent you are, the more your stakeholders will trust you.
Makes sense. Now, what about the people who work for the government? How are they adjusting to all these changes?
Well, they're getting the training and support they need to thrive in this new digital world. It's not just about throwing new technology at them. It's about giving them the skills to use it effectively.
So it's an investment in people.
Absolutely. And that's something every organization going through a digital transformation needs to think about. If you want your team to innovate, you need to invest in their development.
Right. Give them the tools they need to succeed. Okay, we can't talk about all this digital stuff without talking about cybersecurity, right?
Of course not. It's a huge priority. They're putting in place strong security measures to protect all that sensitive data they're handling.
Right, so people can feel confident.
Exactly. It's a reminder to everyone, businesses included, that cybersecurity is non-negotiable in this digital age. You need to be prepared to protect your data and your reputation.
Absolutely. And you mentioned earlier about different parts of the government working together. How's that going?
They're getting much better at it.
Okay.
They're breaking down those old walls between departments, making sure that information can flow freely.
Right, so everything's connected.
Exactly. And that's so important for any organization. If you want to be agile, if you want to innovate, you need to break down silos and encourage collaboration across your teams.
Make it easier for people to work together.
Yeah.
So how are governments actually driving this whole digital transformation? What's their role?
Well, they're setting the stage, They're developing the policies and regulations that make all this possible.
Okay, so they're laying the groundwork.
Right. And they're putting money into digital infrastructure, building the networks and systems that everything runs on.
So they're creating the foundation for the future. What else?
They're also focusing on digital skills development for everyone.
Okay.
Making sure that citizens have the skills they need to use these new services and to participate in the digital economy.
So it's about empowering people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're walking the walk,
Mhm.
They're modernizing their own operations, using these digital tools themselves to show that it can be done.
Leading by example.
Exactly. And they're really focused on data governance, making sure that data is used ethically and responsibly.
Right. So it's not just about collecting data. It's about using it properly.
Absolutely. And they're investing in innovation, funding research and development to create new solutions. They're always looking for ways to improve digital service delivery, make things easier and more accessible for citizens.
So they're constantly evolving and improving.
Yes. And they're realizing the power of partnerships. They're working with private companies to get things done faster and more efficiently.
Interesting. So all these changes, what kind of impact are they having? What are the benefits of all this digital transformation in government?
Well, it's leading to better services.
Yeah.
Things are faster, more convenient, more efficient.
Okay.
It's improving the experience for citizens, making it easier to interact with the government, and it's saving money.
Ah, I like that one.
It's streamlining processes, reducing waste, making things more efficient, and of course, it's allowing for better decision-making because they're using data to inform their choices.
Right. Evidence-based decisions.
Exactly. It's increasing transparency and accountability, which builds trust. And it's encouraging more people to get involved, to participate in the process.
Makes them feel like they have a voice.
Right. And all of this leads to more innovation and economic growth, which benefits everyone.
And strengthens resilience.
Exactly. They're better prepared to handle whatever comes their way.
So even though we're talking about government, it sounds like a lot of these benefits could apply to any organization.
Absolutely. The principles are the same. If you want to be successful in today's world, you need to be adaptable, innovative, and focused on your stakeholders.
Okay, now let's talk about the challenges. What are some of the roadblocks governments are facing with all of this?
Well, one big one is those old legacy systems, the outdated technology that can be really hard to get rid of.
Yes. Trying to update those.
And then there's budget constraints. Governments have to be really careful about how they spend their money.
Making those tough decisions, yeah.
And finding people with the right skills, the digital experts, that can be a challenge.
That skills gap we hear so much about.
Exactly. And of course, there's always the cybersecurity threat. Protecting data is a constant battle.
Right.
And navigating all the regulations around data privacy, that can be complex.
There's a lot to keep up with.
It is. And breaking down those silos, getting different departments to work together effectively, that's still a work in progress in many cases.
Yeah, collaboration could be tough.
It can. And making sure that everyone has access to these digital services, bridging that digital divide, that's an important challenge too.
So these are big challenges, but they're not unique to government.
No, they're challenges that any large organization faces in the digital age.
Okay, so what's next? What are some of the key trends that are going to shape the future of digital transformation in government?
Well, cloud computing is becoming more and more important.
Okay.
It gives them the flexibility and scalability they need to keep up with demand.
Makes sense.
And we're going to see a lot more use of data analytics and AI. They're going to help them make better predictions and automate a lot of processes.
So even more data-driven decisions.
Exactly. Digital identity and authentication are going to become even more sophisticated, making things more secure and easier to use.
Right, so people can trust the system. What else?
Open data and transparency are going to continue to grow, which will lead to more collaboration and innovation. Cybersecurity and privacy are going to remain top priorities, obviously.
Of course.
And we're going to see a lot more emphasis on digital citizen engagement, finding new ways to communicate with people and get their feedback.
It's an ongoing process.
It is. And things like smart cities and the Internet of Things are going to play a big role in the future.
Oh, yeah. How's that going to work?
Well, they're going to use connected devices to make cities more efficient and sustainable.
Interesting.
And we're going to see more regulatory sandboxes and innovation hubs, which are basically spaces where people can experiment with new ideas without too much red tape.
So creating an environment for innovation.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. What's the big takeaway for our listeners today? What can they learn from all this about digital transformation in government?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that it's not just about technology.
Okay.
It's about people.
Right.
It's about understanding their needs, making things easier for them, and empowering them to participate in the process.
So it's about putting people at the center of everything.
Exactly.
And that's a lesson that applies to any organization.
Absolutely.
So for all you innovators out there, whether you're a CEO, a CIO, a director, or just someone who wants to make a difference, think about how you can apply these principles to your own work. How can you use digital tools to improve your services empower your team, and create a better experience for everyone involved? How can you turn your work team into innovators?
I love that. Turn your team into innovators. That's the challenge, isn't it?
It is. And if you're looking for a platform to help you do just that, IdeaScale can help.
Yeah. They've got some great tools for fostering innovation and collaboration.
So head over to ideascale.com and book a demo for a free trial. You won't regret it.
And be sure to subscribe to the show for more deep dives into the world of innovation. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday.
And we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on digital transformation in government? What are your biggest challenges? Leave a comment below and join the conversation.
We'll see you next time.
Bye for now.